Bartlett Giamatti, National Baseball League Commissioner, or President actually, died of a massive heart attack at 51 years of age. But he had many words that he wrote about baseball, and among those were the words that I'm going to share with you. They're words also, I think, that they really summarize Jesus' ministry up until Easter morning. Giamatti wrote of baseball these words: "It breaks your heart. It is designed to break your heart. The game begins in spring when everything else begins anew and blossoms in the summer, filling afternoons and evenings. And then, as soon as the chill rains come, it stops to leave you face late fall alone. You can count on it, rely on it to buffer the passage of time, to keep the memory of sunshine and clear skies alive. And then, just when you need it the most, at twilight, it stops." Interestingly, Giamatti's own life stopped in September, the year he died, just before the end of baseball season. Jesus' ministry was filled with life-giving, hope-filled moments. And those moments, they culminate today on Palm Sunday, a day when Jesus was asked to literally hush his followers, and Jesus said, "You don't understand. I can't ask my followers to be hushed. If they were quiet, even the stones would shout out." Today, church life is lush and green and hope-filled, and it finds its voice: "Hosanna, save us, blessed be the name of the Lord." And the nation remembered how Israel was set free from the Egyptians in the days of Moses. And they hoped again that they would be set free from the Romans, that they would be set free from even their own leaders of Israel. But if you're reading the Way, and I know many of you are, many of you bought the books, you know that Jesus' parade into Jerusalem wasn't the only parade on Palm Sunday. Every year, Pontius Pilate made sure he had a parade. He came in from the west with about 1,000 soldiers to remind Jerusalem who ruled. To remind Jerusalem who ruled. On Passover night, he would spill the blood off the lintel posts of crosses of those he chose to crucify, just as a show of force, so that Israel would not get the idea that they were going to be set free from Rome like they were set free from Egypt. And then there was yet another parade coming in from the north. Herod would come back down and remind the city with his entourage that he was the religious king of Israel. Actually, what he was kind of a half-Jewish king and a half-Roman enforcer. But the point was the same. He had the power to lop off heads if necessary. Just think of John the Baptist. And so there were 3 parades. And with those 3 parades, think of Giamatti's chill fall rain. Jesus' parade, his walk into Jerusalem, went up against the parades of 2 very heavy hitters who ruled with might, who ruled with power and fear. Is it any wonder that before Jesus entered Jerusalem, he looked over the city and he began to shed tears? Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Oh, if you just knew the things that led to peace. Is it any wonder that in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus' sweat became like droplets of blood falling upon the earth as he thought about the excruciating bloodshed that was to come, not just his own, but when Jerusalem would be overthrown completely by the Romans, and the Romans would lose their patience. Palm Sunday is like that last hurrah, that last wonderful day of summer, and then fall comes with winter built right into that day. snowflakes flying, it seems. Palm Sunday is the gorgeous sunset, radiant on the clouds of an incoming storm that hits about 3 a.m. in the morning when all is dark. Thunder and lightning and pouring rain. And so it is even before the cross. Jesus sheds tears. Jesus bleeds. But unlike Giamatti, Jesus is not resigned to the darkness. Jesus has faith that when you need it most, God will come and bring new life. It's not the end. Tears and blood are not signs of the end. Of an ending, yes, but not the end. Tears and blood are signs of compassion and hope in Jesus' world. Jesus' purpose is to share something that is more powerful than Herod coming in from the north and more powerful than Pontius Pilate coming in from the west. And if you're reading The Way, you'll remember a quote from it as well, from Martin Luther King Jr. In the midst of the Civil Rights Movement, he said, "You can do anything to destroy us, but we will wear you down by our capacity to suffer. And we will love you. And we will pray over you until that day finally comes when we win you over, and when we do, it will be a double victory. For you will be changed, and the world will be changed." Jesus is seeking to change his followers and to change the world by what comes next. And he taps into a power that can honestly face the tears and the blood and the struggles and overcome the hurt and the pain and the worry to offer a new beginning and new life. And Jesus comes to offer that new beginning and new life even in this life. Not necessarily on the next side of the grave, but even in this life, even where the tears fall now, even where the bleeding is now, there are many types of death and not all of them are physical. Jesus promises to come to us to save us when we are dying on the inside, emotionally, spiritually. Promises that we can have new life even here and now. And he sheds tears because he sees the way to peace when we so often don't see the way to peace. We see despair. Jesus does not walk away from Jerusalem's turmoil. He could have. But he walks right into the tears and the blood and the turmoil. He walks right into the tears and the blood and the turmoil in our lives. And if we let him, he can show us peace. And if we let him, he can show us healing. And if we let him, he can show us new life. On this side of heaven, we live where there are powers that rule by might and fear, but Jesus offers power. Power of love and hope and compassion. This Holy Week and beyond, may each of us, whatever comes our way, believe in that power of compassion and hope and new life. And maybe, just maybe, God will use our hands and our words and our voices